Okay, Jim, here's your before and after from today's session. So spoke a lot about kind of how you put your hands on, right? As another little sort of added on point, I'd kind of like your toes turned out a little bit more. As you're looking down, try and think of your left foot pointing out at 11 o'clock and your right foot pointing out at 1 o'clock, right? I think your left foot's pointing out a little bit, but your right foot's kind of straight, right? And having your toes turned out is just going to help you. Well, it's going to help you with your balance coming through and settling on that left side, but it's more for the structure of the lower body and the straightening and flexing of the knees, right? But that's a big one there, that grip, right? Mainly the right hand. The left hand's okay. The right hand is too strong. It's too much in your palm, right? So what we did was we got that little dot on your trigger finger and just got you putting the dot to the side of the grip, right? And I'll show you the after swing in a second. But what we're really working on was, as we're coming down, kind of working on that right arm a little bit, right? So you can see as you come down here and we get down to P6, how your hands are a little bit short of where you see most of the pros, right? And then, you know, you look at your right arm position and you look at that where that elbow is, right? Where the pros have their elbow more tucked in, right? So what we're working on is getting that right elbow more tucked in at P6, and then you can get your hands more forward, and then inevitably you get your hands more forward at impact. Whereas you can see your hands are just a little bit too far back there at P6, and then too far back at impact, right? So if anything, there's backward shaft lean rather than forward shaft lean, right? And that's why you kind of hit it high and you're turning your 6 iron into a 7 iron. We want to try and turn your 6 iron into a 5 iron. That's a good way of thinking about it, right? So I'll show you the after swing with that. Nicely going inward from down the line. You can see your hands are moving in, the club head's moving in, right? So I love all that stuff. But then as you come down and through, look how your arms are lifting up off your torso there. Yeah. So that's another little point, right? We want to kind of reduce that space there. So that's just a little bit of pressure under that armpit, a little bit of pressure under that armpit, and just maintain the pressure. Don't ever let the arms come up off the torso. Yeah. So with regards to, you know, what we're working on, there's your before sort of setup with your right hand. Now, so I'm just teaching you how to put your hands on from that position, right? Hold the club up in front of you so the club face is square, right? And then you can work on getting the dot on your trigger finger to the side of the grip, right? You want to try and get it coming into the side of the grip there. There you go. I mean, that is night and day. That is there. Totally different look, right? So different with the grip. So I love that. And then what we're working on is this little exercise where when you come down, trying to feel, and this is why I've got to stick between your arms, because I want you to feel like this right elbow comes under the left one and digs into the side of your body, right? And that's what all those different pros that I was showing you. As they come down to P6, there, right? Their hands, now we want your hands a little bit more forward than that, right? So a little bit more forward. There you go, right? That's the exercise. You've got to practice coming down to about there. So now your hands are more forward at P6. Right? You can see this right elbow is tucked into the side of your body more. So from shoulder to elbow, you're there, right? Look at where your right arm's going, as opposed to your right arm over there. So that then gets your handle more forward, right? More forward this way. And then from there, what I'm saying from there is, right, keep the bit of pressure underneath each armpit. And you can practice this just putting a T-peg under each armpit, right? So it's good grip. Make your backswing, get that right elbow coming underneath the left one, down to P6. And then from there, keep the arms pinching and go through. And that's where you'd be at impact. Now the club face is a little bit open, right? Just a fraction too open. But really, that's not what we're working on at the moment. We're working on getting the hands underneath the shoulder so the shaft can lean forward. Because then the club head's going to travel downwards through impact lock. Your club head travels too straight through impact. That's why you weren't taking a divot. So really the lesson is getting your handle more forward at impact so you can have the shaft leaning forward. You've got to have that shaft leaning forward at impact to hit down on it, to compress it, to put spin on it, to send the ball up in the air. You're trying to actually lift the ball up instead of hitting down on it. Make sense?
Yes.
So to hit down on it, you've got to have the handle forward. Simple as that. Yeah. So that's what we're working on with the arms, getting that elbow underneath the left one. Make sense?
Yes.
That's much better. Well done.